If it is the experiences that we crave, we are looking for, what makes up our experiences? Like, what's entangled in the experiences?
The emotions.
Mm,
Time and space.
and those create memories.
Mm.
Mm,
Imprints, right?
imprints. And imprints backwards in terms of memories that have happened.
Mm.
And same way for intentions that are yet to happen.
Mm-hmm. And so you can make a future memory.
You can. If you are aware of it.
Mm.
If you're aware that memory only runs one way, which is backwards.
So we're going back to the future.
We're definitely in a loop. So it's very important if we can settle that our starting position is all we want is to experience the emotion of life.
Mm.
Now,
That's big.
yeah.
That's why two people can't have the same experience. They'll feel it differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just the word life. Do we really have a full concept of what it is?
We've got our experience of it, which is only up to this point.
Mm-hmm.
Which means we can change it from this point or draw in more of what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And what we'll ask is the emotion or the thing more important?
Mm.
That getting, achieving, having that thing, right? When we have, achieve, or have gotten it, yeah, we've gotten something. Our structure says then we should be satisfied. Should be. All I want for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And then I should be satisfied.
Mm.
Are we ever? Heck no, because if you didn't get what you needed on Black Friday, then you have Small Business Saturday. And if you didn't get it if you didn't get enough on Small Business Saturday or Black Friday, then you always have Cyber Monday.
Sniper Monday.
So just in case, three events just to get everything you need.
And then you go to wait a year to have it again.
Yep. So it is the structure out there that is chasing continuous growth. And
sorry, Jake.
That's economic growth.
Yeah. And it's a closed structure.
Yep. But if we were to say, well, it's not the things, but the experiences or the emotions, isn't it about giving and receiving? Isn't that just enough?
There's so much in that. And we make so little use of it.
So it is always an emotion that we want. Emotion, it is always an emotion we want. That's not the first thing we think of. It's so in our heads, structured automatically that we have to have something. We have to get it. And the problem is
we have it, we want something new.
That's right. And it's like once we get it, right, we don't have the emotion that we thought we would have. So then we go get something else and something else and something else. It's just like feeding hunger. Except for the hunger works for a while. Bad example. And So the awareness becomes one, what emotion am I in now? What am I feeling now? And is that the one I want? And if it isn't, you just change it. Change the channel. Change the emotion. And you do that by choosing which one you want. Otherwise, everything has control over you. You are in no control then. Everything out there will whip you around. And you'll be stuck in an emotion that is unresolvable. And if you do that long enough, you give up. That's no way to live.
The power lies in the awareness of our choices and to be specific, what we choose.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And how we expect it to play out.
Yes.
Yes, being specific. Yeah. So in every way, what feeling would like to experience?
Mm-hmm. And being open. And then there's like allowing that experience, allowing that emotion.
Yeah.
That becomes the experience of it.
Yeah.
And then we can remember the memories when we say, oh, that was the experience. Whatever. We love to talk about our experiences, which is great. We'd love to talk about, we should be talking, love to talk about what we're creating, what we're wanting to manifest.
Mm.
Because then we get other people to do it with us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's far more enjoyable collaborating than doing it all by yourself.
Jesse, can I go back to what you said? And because I'm not sure that I heard it correctly. you said we love to talk about our experiences. And then you said something about what we create, and I missed that.
I think it's easier for us to talk backwards, like to the past, than it is to talk to the future.
Yes. So that's the point that you were trying to make. Okay.
Very good.
Okay, thanks.
So we look for confirmation in the past, like, oh, this
Yeah.
experience, validation of our experiences.
Yeah.
And when really we could be putting that energy into the creation of the future.
Exactly. And the creation of the future could be an experience.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that's just it. It always is it's the experience in the moment.
Yeah.
Even if we're thinking about the future.
Yeah.
It's happening now.
Exactly.
So now is like, if you want it in the future, then you have the feeling of having it now.
Yeah.
That is be it to see it. So feeling it is the feeling of it. Be it, and then you'll see it.
Yes.
There's something that caught my attention again when Chi said it, and he said, the power of making a choice. And it's the awareness as well, if we have the full awareness of what we are doing when we are doing it, there's incredible expansion that comes with that, which for me is power.
Mm. Either the power is in our hands or it is in somebody else. With the awareness, we can take our power back.
And collaborate with it.
Yes, yes.
And we speak of power here as more than just a force.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Power is positive. Power is authority. Power is focus. It's expansive, and it's all the opposite.
Yeah. What I meant was, what the power of our choices, our will.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I think that's why I like the word empower so much.
Mm.
I don't know what that prefix does, but it's like it's infusing, so it's moving. Whereas I often think of power as quite constricting. That's how it feels to me.
Power is energy.
Mm-hmm.
Not as the power of politicians or the outside thing, politicians. the true power and the energy that is and everywhere, in everything.
Mm-hmm. And then it's how we work with that.
Yeah.
So if I think of what you were saying, Jesse, with that our tendency is to go backwards, and we could be using that energy to go forward. One of the things that we could ask ourselves is, what do I want to create today that will empower me, that will bring me a sense of empowerment?
Mm.
There was something in that quote that I brought in about, if we don't experience peace, it's because we have forgotten that we belong to each other.
Mm. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when I read it, there was just this really solid experience of connection and expansion in one and the same time. And I thought, gosh, it's such a simple thing to focus on, and it brings so much expansion. It's a dance, I think, for me, between present and future. In the present and past still. Yesterday when you also talked about level 1 and level 2, That also came to mind for me during the day about how when we're how our awareness can facilitate us moving between the two, and then being open to what comes with that, and then you do it again. And that fluidity, how I valued that experience. Hmm.
So if everything is choices, and choices aim to the future, they're grounded in the now, inviting the future.
Hmm.
And if I look at the core choice that I've worked with, is to live a life I love.
Yeah, that is always the end result of what we want. But still, that can be many things, you know. Whether it's a job, a partner, you know, a family, you know, what, no, maybe I'm far off.
Like asking the question as us look at all those roles.
Mm,
Yeah. It's like the choice like gives the starting perspective.
hmm
The criteria is, could I love it? Could I love being and doing it
hmm
as it is or as it could be?
hmm
And not how it was. And parts of how it was. But we can use the experience just as a gauge. Is it taking us to it or away from it? We talked about yesterday. Is it just being
Yes,
information?
yes. But all that's been created through ages, you know, it's been done, you know, by the use of the power of our imagination. So whatever we like to create, you know, it's the imagination is the key. Whether you want a
Yes.
good health, a wealth, abundance, whatever, you know, imagine that
Absolutely.
the feeling of being in that specific moment, you know, of whatever that is success or whatever that is
Yeah.
happiness. So, yeah.
So really, it's like it's like mm, you want something really bad. Like we all do. We all want something like deep down. Now, I'm talking worldly,
Mm.
materially.
Mm,
There's just it's deep, right? There's just ways we've seen the world that we can't get rid of. We can't let go of. Now, maybe we can, right? The point is you take whatever that is and say, that's what I'm going for. And I'm going to be just the same if I don't get it.
mm.
That's the secret.
Yep.
But what I want, I know that is within my reach, you know, it's possible. I want to give back to nature. I want to give back to community. I want to share and you know,
And Chi, if you don't do that,
Um,
is it okay?
um, yeah, but sorry. Yes, and
Oh, what great awareness. That was beautiful.
yeah. Um, yeah, you're right. What do I want to say? Yeah, it's okay. And
Oh, Chi, so look,
but
all of that is just revealing your resistance.
yeah.
Like, no, and that's the reason why you don't have it or can't, won't get there, is because whatever resistance you've got in the way there that you don't see.
Mm.
It takes someone else to bring it out to you and bring your attention to it and say, look, like, if the secret is to be okay the same, whether I get there or whether I don't, it's not the choice we want. That's all it's telling us.
Yeah. Yeah, the part of accepting, surrendering.
That's right. Because there's a part of you that says, wait, we still have work to do. That's an automatic in the background that drives all of us.
Yes,
Mm.
absolutely.
We just can often mistake that for something else.
Yeah,
Because there's always more experience to be gained.
Yeah, yeah. Uh,
And some of them aren't as pleasurable as the others.
yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, but again, it's how we choose to look at it.
yeah,
Yeah.
Which ultimately is how we choose to feel about it.
yes,
It's just the knowing of that it is within our power and capacity, ability, and to learn and to grow and to create, and
and I want to say this also, Chi, that it's also to have the awareness that what we are is enough.
mm-hmm.
It's more than enough.
Yeah. I get that. I get that. Uh, it takes in order to, in my opinion, to have a successful life. We have certain needs.
Yeah,
Financial needs, physical needs. And also financial needs. Nowadays
absolutely.
in this world. So
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Totally.
So
And we feel that a lot as parents. And even if we're
yeah,
not
you can't
parents,
go anywhere without money nowadays. It's
yeah,
almost impossible.
yeah,
So why not create something of importance of uh, conserve? Yeah, yeah. I'll be on mute because I'm cooking. I'll be listening.
I think that's the point of the imagination. That we don't invite the imagination to create it.
yeah,
We rely on our past experience
yeah,
of how we got to where we are to do it.
yeah. And in that we limit ourselves, right?
And that's the key to it. Yeah, it's that it's a limiting.
Yeah,
Anything we control is a limitation,
yes,
and it's not the limitation that's good or bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the awareness that matters.
Exactly. And after the awareness, Jesse, there's the allowing.
Correct. That's a whole nother area.
Yeah.
A whole nother layer.
It is, because it's allowing the limitation to be there.
Mhm.
For that moment in time.
Yep.
Remembering that everything changes. It's the only thing that is guaranteed in life is change.
With tension.
Yes.
With tension and with attention.
Yes.
But not forced tension. Tension already has force in it.
Yeah.
We don't need to add any more or control it. We just need to structure it.
Yeah. That's a really good way of putting it. Thank you.
It's like use gravity.
Yeah. Just allow it to flow, kind of thing. Eh?
Exactly.
That's tension.
That is the tension.
There's this compulsion for something to move in the structure.
It is how we live. It's the only way we know we're alive is by movement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a critical part is, in my experience anyways, is allowing.
Mhm.
Because we can resist and we can stop things by trying to force things. We can actually prevent.
Exactly. Just think of fight.
Yeah.
Just think of how much goes into a fight. Like, is in a territory gained in a fight? Like,
it's like a waste of energy, really.
It is.
Totally. It's so destructive.
So destructive.
Oh yeah. Ruins lives.
Because it's two energies tearing each other apart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Destructive. Eh? It's like the dark side.
And what's the opposite of that? Constructive.
Yeah.
Constructive, yeah.
Like
collaboration.
Together, it's like two of those energies come together, and all of a sudden, it's more than exponential.
Yeah.
Yeah. Working together.
You actually create something. Like, we're stuck in the fighting aspect. Just imagine what it would be like if we were creating.
Exactly.
Yeah. If everyone chose that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a different world it would be.
We would imagine, no idea. Let's give it a try.
Yeah. Let's not do it alone, but here we are. Let's do it together. Let's create today. Create the life you love, if everyone did that, oh my goodness, what a different world.
So that's what I choose, is that we all see that.
Yeah. Keep choosing it every day, every moment.
And remember that we belong to each other.
Yeah. We're family.
Yeah.
A family. We are family. I've got all my brothers and sisters with me. And all we have to do is allow. No need to force. Just allow yourself to live the life you love. Could you? Would you? When? Well, I think I'll put that off until next year. I'll wait till New Year's to live the life I love. But you know what I mean.
And to me, that's people allowing their power.
Yes. Yes. Exactly.
Right.
As you allow yourself to have the life you love, and allow others to have the life they love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And stop trying to control it all. Like that's the opposite of allowing.
Yes.
So the point is, right, to become aware, to allow. It's like just allow it once and be like, wait, I did that.
Yeah.
Now what you're building is belief.
Mm. Wow. Yeah, when you see the result,
You ask a
it gets
fish.
affirmed.
That's right. You ask a fish, how's the water? And it says, right?
Hot
How's the
water.
water? Yeah, exactly. Until it jumps out of the water once.
Yeah.
That's what that, like, it made you jumped out of the water all the time. It just didn't realize it. Like the fish could do that. A fish could jump out of the water and not realize that it's really jumping out of the water until someone says, how's the water? Right. It could be a big awareness for a fish. And now they've got a difference. It's like, oh, when I do that, that's what it is. And so now it starts to believe, maybe this fish believes that it can live outside of water. So what if all the fish got behind him and said, all right, those that cared said, yeah, let's go figure that out. That is the world we could have. And so after allowing, I think it is aligning.
Absolutely.
Wow. Allow, align.
That's so interesting that you put it in that order, because when I reflect back, I think for me I felt like I needed to align to allow.
Yeah. Yeah, that kind of makes sense too.
But the allowing, when you said that now, what came to me is that it is a bit of a feedback between the two, right? You allow, and then you align, and that allows more, and then you align more. You go deeper.
You're aware.
They work together.
You come back all the way to awareness.
Yeah. Nice one, Jess.
It's the first row. It's the first row of the matrix, of ABC, awareness, allow, align.
Oh, I was thinking always bring cash.
That works too.
Very. ABC. Allow.
That's
I messed that one up, Jesse. Sorry about that.
It's a matrix, and so we have layers, right, which would be columns, and then you have rows. And so ABC it takes column 1, right, row 1, 2, 3. It's like the starting position. So we in the top in column 1, 1, right, or A1, right, we would have aware. A2 would be being, and A3 would be charge, aware you're being charged. That's the first layer. But what's the point of being charged, right? Is to see like what will I allow and what will I not allow. So we go through, so we circle all the way back up to the top, go through awareness, and then head over to allow again. And then we go down allow, the layer of allow, back up to aware, allow, and then align.
So the second layer could be allow, being limited and powerful.
Yeah. Oh, there's all sorts of stuff in there.
Yeah. And then the third layer would be align.
Being
It's
connected.
almost like if you allow, then the alignment tends to come naturally. That's how it feels. If you allow.
Yes.
And that's building structure that flows into it. Yes, of course.
Absolutely.
The alignment just kind of happens.
So why would we do anything else? Is like the insanity behind it.
Yeah. Allow and alignment really work together.
Mm-hmm. It creates a structure.
Feedback. It's kind of a feedback loop.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Wow. That shows how powerful that Sedona method is too, because he talks a lot about allowing, like welcoming and allowing. Like they're kind of a similar thing, a similar energy, right? Could you just welcome it, Could you allow it to be here? Could I just allow myself to experience, fill in the blank?
And so if you take that into like fireside, it's like that's when we invite people in. We are
welcome.
aware. Yeah, exactly. We're giving them an invitation, and that's what we're practicing. It's like practicing people, like practicing to create an invitation to collaborate. And like to one, that it's okay to go for what you want and love and want to create in the world, right? Like let's get to that first. And then find people to do it. How else will we change it? How else will we
shift
as the masses, right, get out from underneath of diffuse control? If such a thing exists, where it could be just as much, that's the way we've always done it.
One heart at a time.
Yeah, one heart. It's the only way.
Yeah.
It's like, and so it's like that one heart only has to be aware that it's possible. That's and that's what people are fucking charging for. Like, let's get them aligned first. Let's get going in the direction, and then let's worry about the rest of that. But yes, I know we got to make money first.
Yeah,
don't get me wrong. I love making. Don't get me wrong.
Money with you, Jesse?
Don't get me wrong. I love making money. What my charge is I don't want to be like everyone else.
You want to be different?
I want to be me.
Want to be authentic.
Just be real. Yeah.
The authenticity.
I don't like the structure.
Yeah.
I don't like the structure that's there.
Okay.
And yes, I have a charge to it.
Okay.
And
glad to see that.
There's nothing wrong with a charge.
No, of course not. Seeing it, being aware of it is powerful.
What matters is if you've explored yours.
Yeah.
That's what I point out. I'll point out a scab on something because people won't look at it.
Yeah. Or they see it and it's there, but they ignore it and act like it's not there.
And all I want is someone to tell me, to come back and say, yeah, I'm charged and I'm charged. I really want them to just tell me that, yeah, I've thought of it. Great. That's the person I want to work with.
Yeah. Because if you're sticking your head in the sand, then there's not much anyone can do.
Yeah. I get tired of beating you in the ass. Truly, I move on.
Yep.
And that's sad.
Why stop your head in the sand? You close your eyes anyway. But
It
you get
hurts.
sand in your eyes.
Exactly. It hurts either way.
Yeah.
I mean,
You're hurting your eyes, or are you getting your ass kicked?
Yeah, it sucks either way. And here's what we call that. We call that control.
Oh man.
That is what we
Yeah.
call control. Like that's what we
Wow.
say when we are in control. That's what we're doing.
Head in the sand.
Just showing our butts.
Yeah. It's a very vulnerable position. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard not to have the mental image, eh?
And look, some like it, and that's cool.
Yeah,
That's
up
cool.
to them.
Some that if that's where you want to be, that's cool.
Yeah. I'd hardly call that authentic here. Or happy.
I'm not going to stick around and try and that's right. I'm not going to dig the sand out around your head.
Yeah. Yeah. That's your job. That's someone else's job. I mean,
always is.
That's their job.
It is. It's always an inside job.
Yeah.
And look, not everyone needs to hear it from me. I like my energy tends to be out in front.
Yeah, and I have the theory that life teaches us the lessons we need to learn. It's just people, like, we sometimes have our heads so deep in the sand that life is trying to tell us, but we can't see it because our heads are so buried, so to speak, And so the lessons are always there. It's just our eyes open to see them and ears open to hear them.
And that's pretty easy to tell in a conversation with someone pretty quickly.
Yeah, I guess so, right? Because the languaging reveals everything, what's in the heart.
Yeah, it depends on the skill of the listener, which the only skill of the listening is to the skill that you're at.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
You have no idea.
I didn't know there was higher levels to listening.
Exactly. So, and where did that realization come from? Yeah.
Yeah. The silence.
Right. That's the ones to be like aware of, is the ones that help us become aware of some of the real powerful stuff. It's respect. That's to the level that it is. It's part of the honor, right? It's the honoring of that.
Yes.
And that is worth so much more than any dollar amount. It's like an insult to put a dollar amount on it.
Yeah, I feel the same about that.
So my view is, well, why don't you let help people change their lives, and then they'll want to pay you. It's like, yeah, why not? Why not prove it first, get them there, and then charge. Like everyone else does it the other way around. They say, trust me, pay me first, trust me, and then I'll show you the breakthrough. And yeah, it's a little better. Right? I mean, and what we find is where our stories stay consistent, like that becomes the tether, right? That becomes the power of it. I mean, I don't think it's like, did I or didn't I? It's like, I can't create any story why I would care. Like why I have to do it that much different. But I see it's like my learning of my pattern about how important money was. It's like my dark side, right? it's through the dark side. It's they're so connected. Like that is my lesson. It's still learning it. It's like it's not complete. You just find me in the moment of it.
It's always the next level.
Yeah,
Exactly.
always.
If you go to the highest level, you'd say the experience, it's life.
Mm-hmm.
But then you can break life down into small experiences and break those experiences down to even smaller experiences.
Mm-hmm.
There's always a higher level, lower level.
That's right. Zoom in, zoom out.
Yeah.
The whole point is just to get a different perspective. That's why the opposite is such a shortcut. It's like, oh yeah, here's the awareness is, oh, it's this, and then like, oh, and it could be this. The awareness just opens. And I mean, that is like that is letting go.
Yes.
Yeah. The awareness is just the key to the door. What's on the other side is
And we
much more.
and that's what I'm excited about is like what, like when you go through the door, what's on the other side for all of us. And can
some
I
of the things on the other you can see, and some things are behind other doors.
Mm-hmm.
You need to be aware of.
Yes, another layer, right? Another yes. It's aware that we attach to them. We define them. We relate to them. We make it personal. And so there's dominating roles that our reflexes play. You know, and there's a defender. And I'm not talking like in threatening situations, but it could be in a meeting when someone disagrees with you. That's a threat that I'm speaking of. That's a charge. And that was mine. It was like, oh, no one could disagree with me. I couldn't have that. It was just a pattern of mine that didn't allow for anyone else to have their genius. They had to have mine. Ugh.
There's a recipe for war.
Right. And all it was frustration and emptiness and like, no wonder I was empty, right?
And angry.
Yep.
Yeah. Good for you for realizing that, Jesse, and having that breakthrough. You know.
Yeah. Well, it's
like that awakening, so to speak.
And in many, like I'm grateful for those that taught me about structure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Robert Fritz, Bert Hellinger.
Yes. And then what to do with it. Yeah, with what to do with it. That's what Duncan taught me, was what I could, like, what was possible with it.
Yeah.
Because I saw it. I heard it in the voice, but I heard it in the voice when I first saw it, and I said, that changes the world.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right. Because structure is everything, and structure creates reality.
Yep.
And the old phrase, structure has integrity. So we create structure, and our focus determines our reality. So when we choose a focus, we create a structure.
Yep.
I don't know. You can just riff on that forever. It's amazing. But the key is actually implementing and actually doing something with it.
Exactly.
Not just talking about it, right?
Using your structure.
Yeah.
And that requires experiencing it so that you believe it. And I think that's what a lot of coaching groups miss out on, because they have a king that wants to tell you all about it and not give you any space to experience it for yourself.
Yeah.
So you have to go away and do all the damn hard work.
Yeah, and it takes years. It takes years to kind of figure it out on your own, even with all the trainings and listening to them regularly.
Yes, I know.
And it's always this promise that, oh, I'm going to collapse the time frame. If you give me thousands of dollars, I'll collapse the time frame and teach you everything I know over the last 10, 20 years.
And they're not wrong.
And you'll be able to create what you want in a short amount of time.
And they're not wrong.
I guess
they're not wrong.
They're giving you the learning.
That's right.
That they've experienced.
It's the structure that we give them. Like, we're waiting for them to tell it to us, and they do, and then we're like, oh,
okay.
I'm just going to keep doing
that simple.
I'm just going to keep doing my own stuff.
Yeah.
Did you get this? It's like, I'm paying you, but I'm going to keep doing my way. What the?
This doesn't work.
What? Why pay then?
Yeah.
Do you see why I like it? That's my frustration. It's like that. I don't want you to pay and not be here. I don't want to be around people like that.
Yeah.
That's who they want to be around.
Yeah, people that follow through with what they've committed to.
That's who I want to create with.
Yeah.
And we suck.
Yeah.
We're horrible. We're not doing a very good job of it.
It's still a work in progress, that's for sure.
From the world's perspective. But I don't give a shit what they say.
Just keep going.
That's right. I'm going to keep doing
creating.
my thing, because I'm going to let them keep doing their thing.
Yeah.
If they want to keep their head in the sand, that's fine.
Yeah. That's everyone's freedom of choice and right to choose.
That's how I see it. And until you prove me like the other way, it's like, I'm sorry. Now I will help. Like, I mean, geez. Like, there's all sorts of places for people to say no. And to say yes. But I get tired of no's. Because what does a no tell you?
Closed.
Nothing.
Resistant.
I'm going to stay right here.
Yeah. Head in the sand.
I'm going to stay right here. But I don't think that was cool. I don't think my head's in the sand is what they will say to themselves. It's not my head that's in the sand, it's yours. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Sure could be.
Well, they'll say you're walking around with your head in the clouds.
Yeah, that one too.
Mm.
And aren't we both? I mean, we're not in the ground and we're not in the heaven. We're in between.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of us just want to be more of a rock than a god. So some of us want to be a rock more than a god. And I mean a little G god, like a little G god. Gee, I'll let the tension out. I'll let the tension out.
Godlike. Godlike. Yeah, is what I say.
Right.
Like,
I love that perturbation.
Yeah, definitely there's some conflict there. Like, I would not ever claim to be God.
No, not you. I just know religious people do that.
I'm here.
But we can be godlike in that we have that creative capacity.
To me, that's what the book says.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you not God? It says it right in Psalms.
From his breath, right? It's like, so it's like we are from. Here's my point: is like, well, I just question the hierarchy. That's all I'm questioning is like the hierarchy. It's like, oh, is it really like a hierarchy, or are we like similar playing field? It's like, I'm going to go with the similar playing field. That gives me so much more room because I've thought about it, right? I've thought about it, and it's like, well, I can't tell if someone else has or hasn't.
Yeah. We do have, I guess, being human in these bodies, we have certain limitations. You know, we can't be everywhere we can't be everything everywhere all at once at the same moment, or can we? Like that would just be too much.
Or is it?
I don't know. I don't know.
When we let go, we can be, when we're not attached, we can be many things.
It's like, well, it'd be kind of fun to find out, wouldn't it?
Yeah, of course.
We'd have to pull our head out of the sand and shake it off and open our eyes.
Yeah.
Sorry, and unfortunately, our head's not in sand; it's stuck in shit. So we're swimming around in shit, and we don't even ask how the shit is.
And then someone like throws us a rope or a stick, climb out. We go, no, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Yeah,
here.
exactly.
This
No,
is great.
I got a Snickers bar. It's okay.
Are you sure that was a Snickers?
Yeah, it's got peanuts in it. Just like a turd. Anyways. Boys are coming out to play.
So it's like, I was just thinking of it. It's like, so like, what would be an opposite would be like, yeah, screw you. I'm not going to buy anything today. That's an opposite move.
Yeah. Well, that is how I feel today.
Yeah, me too. It's like, it's like, no, I'm not going to give it in. It's like, look, AI is tracking our patterns.
Oh, man.
I mean, let's screw up the patterns.
Yeah.
Let's screw up the why not? Like, that's the power of the masses. Let's do it.
Go for it. But you must buy on Friday, November 29th. You must buy.
You see, people get too much of that and they get turned off with it.
Oh, I'm so sick of it.
Right. And so, like, then it makes
I'm actually sick of buying.
It makes movements very easy.
Yeah. Is anyone else here like sick of buying stuff? Like, I'm kind of sick of it.
That's a good place to get to, Will.
Yeah, because it's just been like this. I realized like in the last month or so where that's coming from. And it's coming from this not enough belief. And it's not true. Like I am enough. I don't need to buy more stuff,
That's great.
I just don't need it. I got everything I need. And now I've got this mountain of debt that I created because of feeling like I'm not enough. And I really don't like that. And so I'm just going to choose to be enough now, I am more than enough. And I can just choose that now. And when I feel like I'm not enough, just notice it, be aware of it, and not have to go out and buy stuff to feel like I'm enough. So just something that I realized in this last month or so.
That's a big win.
Yeah,
thanks, Alice.
I agree, Will. I agree. Totally. Yeah. We don't need anything, other than being ourselves.
Yeah. Thank you, Chi.
True self.
Yeah. Because we're all beautiful in our own way, right? We're all the unique, beautiful person that we are.
Mm-hmm.
And when we show up as who we really are and not I'm not enough. When we show up as I'm not enough, then that's not who we really are. You're not seeing the true person for who they are.
Yep.
And we miss out. we miss out on ourselves, and others miss out on each other.
That's right. And like you, Will, I was attached to the not enough.
Yeah, like it somehow defined me, and it's total bullshit. Pardon me.
Yep. Couldn't see it, unaware of that pattern because it was the only pattern.
You know what I think this is too? Like I did read Duncan's third book on like in integrating your shadow,
Oh yeah.
and I realized that's part of the practice is like just sitting with the belief that I'm not enough, sitting with the belief that I don't belong, or sitting with the belief that I need to be perfect, and just realizing when it shows up. And it's like, oh,
Yes.
and question it. Is it true, really? Like,
Yes.
is this really who you think you are?
Yep.
It's total hogwash.
It is. And it, so the mechanic is that we've always been pursuing our passion.
Yeah.
And the dark side, like our shadow, was created because we oriented to it wrong or ineffectively. Really, it's like from worldly wise, we oriented to it to get it. And so now we're coming back around when we go through it, or go through the shadow, we come back around to see that it is really our power. It was just, we were off in our orientation to it. So what it means is like whatever was number 2 priority just needs to become whatever was number 1 priority needs to become number 2. And our journey is to figure out what does number 1 need to be, because that is what I was doing all my money for. Right? And that was my note. Whatever I was doing number 1 for is what I'm going to put in the new number 1 slot.
Okay.
Because it's the
Struggling
opposite.
a little bit to follow you on this, but
right. So it's in the pattern. It's when we see the pattern, right? We say, okay, what did my pattern want? So in your not belonging, like what would you have when you belong?
I guess I'd be enough.
Good. Yeah. So you're enough. When you're in it, like you're enough.
Yeah. And so put that in there.
That's right. And so it's
I am enough.
And it's like, and so then it's like when you're enough, you'll get what? Like when you're enough of, you'll get what?
Huh. That's a good question. Because
Peace
just
of
even the
mind.
thought of enough it's almost like a paradoxical thing.
Exactly.
It's like an insatiable, impossible thing to ever be enough.
Good. Now, but you thought like if you were enough, then you would get what?
Love, I guess.
Sure. I mean, it's your word, but yeah, play with it. Put that one in numbers. So it's like, oh, love.
Love, yeah.
Most of the time it is that. But then it was like, okay, so then that kept us from what?
Loving ourselves.
That's right. In our truth. It keeps us from our authenticity.
Yeah, our true self.
Yep. So it's a layer.
We abandon ourselves.
Exactly. That's why speaking with Chi yesterday is bringing it back, seeing our inner self, our inner child, where we disconnected, where we said, "Oh, we're not going to follow ourself anymore. We're going to listen to the world." We disconnected. Wow. The part's still sitting there. It's just and it's looking for its other end.
And it's like an open wound, so to speak, that will never heal until you, I guess, figure this out.
That's right. Till we see our structure, our pattern.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or
start
AI
to allow
sees
it to be healed.
Or AI
sees it. And then sells us all kinds of stuff from magnetic mind.
100%. Isn't that what those with the power are going to do, is to keep it the same so that our head stays in the sand?
Wow. Yeah. It's almost like keep them stuck so we can sell stuff to them.
Because that's
the structure.
They're so afraid to let go that it could be any better doing it some other way.
Yeah.
So yes, the
structure is really too. It's a doomed to failure structure.
It is. And those that are winning are going to fight to keep it winning. But it is a pendulum, which is always the good thing, right? Nothing stays the same. It's like a pendulum. People get tired of it, right? The structures, the structures can't hold up.
Forever. Yeah. Yeah. It's doomed to failure,
And
really.
so if you look at like what was it is like, so if I was good enough, then I would have what? And you know, love is usually the first one, but what I will offer is that it can go much deeper.
Okay.
So, but yes, look at
Huh.
love first. So it's like, oh, if I'm
Okay.
enough, then it's like, well, then you can just shortcut it to say, well, like how could I be loved here? So now you put your priority up at the top, right? And that gives you the guide. And so it just opens the door. You're just planting seeds.
Yeah. Yeah. You're retraining yourself to accept love of self, even, really.
Yep, exactly.
And I heard
you're fostering it.
Yeah, exactly, which is growing it.
Yep.
Oh, and I heard a good reminder from the late great Louise Hay. And I followed Louise Hay for well over 20 years. And she reminded me of a very simple practice that she used to do. And it was mirror work, where you just basically, first thing in the morning, you get up, you look in the mirror, you look straight in your own eyes, and you tell yourself, I love you. And you just repeat it a bunch of times.
Hmm.
And it's like self-love is such a keystone habit to living the life you love. And so this is what I actually, the last 2 days I've done it. And I already I'm looking at myself in the mirror right now. And there's no aversion. It's just, hey, I love myself. It becomes like an anchor when I see my reflection. I love myself. It's okay. You know, I can love myself. I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to be enough. I don't have to be capable. I don't have to belong, because I love myself. And that's it.
Very
It
nice.
takes self love, you know, to
Yeah.
love, to give love, and to receive love.
And it's, again, you know, it's one thing to say it, and it's another thing to actually look in the mirror and do it. You know?
And then yeah, the action speaks a lot. Yeah. What will you do,
Yeah,
you know, to show yourself that you love yourself? What action
exactly.
will it take? Yeah.
And what am I teaching myself by how I'm treating myself? You know, I'm either telling myself that I love myself, or I'm telling myself that I don't, through my actions. And also my actions to others, how I treat myself and how I treat others are basically kind of like the same thing. If I abuse myself, I abuse others. If I love myself, I love others. So just a perfect like mirror example of as within, so without.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm going to keep that practice. I'm going to keep practicing that, because I'm already feeling a shift inside, feeling a lot lighter, and actually starting to feel happy again, which is nice, because I have
Me
not
too.
felt happy in a long
Yeah.
time.
I'm doing with some mantras, you know.
Nice, gee.
Yeah, just keep reminding myself the same thing.
Um,
Thanks for letting me share that, guys.
yeah, thank you.
You.
It was
Thank you.
a very powerful process. It's very simple, but
Yeah,
man, does that really help people get in through the door very
yeah,
quickly, Will. So,
yeah. It's a gift. Every day is a gift.
now what
It's what we
also,
do with it.
so, um, hmm. So what, like that is beautiful practice. And what you can add to the description of this is when you
Yeah,
practice it for the first time, when you do it, you will feel, you won't believe it.
yeah. It'll feel a little uncomfortable.
That's perfect. So what that uncomfortableness is the resistance.
Yes.
So you can all of a sudden, just with that simple exercise, is you can have people feel it. And when they do that, they've just learned 60% more.
Yeah, because the experience is what teaches.
That's a conductor.
Mm.
Workshops. It's like the whole workshop experience is way more, there's way more learnings that are
That's right.
achieved through that than just like listening to a video online and trying to implement it yourself.
That's it. Because our automatics are so strong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they drag us back into the habit.
The ego's so crafty.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
And so right there, you can be like, all right, now what is, and you can just get people to listen to the resistance, because now what you're doing is you're helping them be aware of how they're feeling, because it
Yeah.
always reveals the structure.
Yeah.
And so there's just in that simple exercise, Will, there is so much learning that someone could extract from that one practice, from the first time.
Wow. Thank you, Jesse. And it's really just paying forward what Louise Hay, like the work that she did for decades. It's really just paying it forward.
Yep.
The automatics is our subconscious, right?
Yeah, that's where I would hold it. Now everybody can have different definitions of that, but I would go with it. It's
Unconscious, subconscious.
Yeah, it's our
People call it different things.
Our subconscious is shaped by our habits and our feelings, and
yes. And if
so it's
you
always
connected to that, that's where I connected to too. Yeah,
and we can reshape our subconscious
that's
through
right.
working with our feelings.
Mm-hmm. And we shape it by here's the best thing is like there's a limited number of emotions you can feel and then endless streams of stories you could tell yourself.
Mm.
So the ego is going to play with the one that has the most room, like to tell you all the stories that it wants, but it wants to stay away from the emotional aspects, right? Because you can, when you go emotional with the ego, you pin it, you can catch it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So that's why the emotions, there's really, if you think about it, we're sad, glad, or mad.
Or scared.
Or scared. Yep.
Mm.
Thank you for adding that. And you'll notice that there's 3 negatives and 1 positive.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I go simpler to say, okay, if we want neutral, as close to neutral as possible, then we're going to look for our positive and negative. So now I'm only looking at 2. That's so much easier to manage any moment rather than looking at an endless supply of emotions. I like to make it simple. And no one wants negative emotions, do they? I mean, we will allow them, we'll do them, but it's not like if we had our choice. It's not like we sit here and look to the future and say, God, I want to be depressed.
Well, some
yeah,
actually
exactly.
get addicted to it.
Some do it.
Without a doubt. I don't
Been there
discount
myself.
that. I do not want to
Yeah.
discount
When-
it. I don't want to step
Of course,
over
yeah.
it.
That is
But
when the mind is blind. Yeah.
But if we really, 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 really had a choice and we could choose, most people would rather feel happy
that's
than
right.
depressed.
Yep. They would choose a
They just don't
positive.
know how, and especially if it's been an automatic, if it's
Yes.
been an addiction to
Yep.
being depressed, then
Coping. Yep.
then that's the automatic. And it takes time. It takes years to shift that
That's right.
because it takes an actual concerted effort on your part to wake up to that reality and to start to change it.
That's right. It
And when
requires
it's an automatic, it takes a lot of time to change an automatic sometimes, depending on where you're at and depending on what modalities are available to you at the time.
Mhm. Yep. And
I'm complete.
no, right in line.
I just speak with a lot of experience around depression because of having been through it for decades myself.
Mhm.
And having climbed out of that hole. It's like a deep, dark hole where you have a really hard time seeing the light. And so being able to climb out of that hole, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. When you're at the bottom of the bucket, you can only see dark.
Especially if you're looking down.
And it's right. And so people, right? So people will relate to people who are been where they are.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's where we all have our uniqueness, right? Because people need to hear it from different people. Again, like the coaching structures don't like to hear that.
Because they place themselves as above and
That's
someone
right.
else below, kind of thing.
Yeah. And
Not equal.
They want to capture your money.
Oh, okay.
Right. They don't want you spend, like, if you're spending money with someone else, that's money they're losing.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
That's a marketer.
This is what a king does, right? A king tries to hold the structure of it, right?
Yeah.
And it goes against how we learn. And what I wanted to say also is, like, as we see our automatics and go to change them, it helps if there's a judge-free zone to do it.
Yes.
Well, what a great morning. Thank you.
Yes.
Yes,
Thank you,
thank you, guys.
everybody.
Great
This
day.
was so
That was
good.
beautiful.
Thank you,
You
everyone.
all have a beautiful day.
You too.
Gonna be a
Have a
great
great
day, guys.
Have a
Bye-bye.
wonderful